right, what's up, everybody? Well, welcome back to the channel. And we got a real treat for you tonight. And we have Mr. Leon Weatherby from, I would say, owner of L31, but we all know his wife really owns it. But anyways, from L31 Design Solutions up in Missouri, Kansas City area, as you can see with the jersey. So without without further ado, Mr. Leon Weatherby, everybody. Leon, how's it going?
Doing pretty well. Yourself?
Yeah, man, just living the life and getting ready for the Rifles Only Mile High Brawl here 1 week from, what are we today, Friday? 1 week from today. So
I saw that. I saw
just
you
get ready for that, man. Yeah, I think I still haven't made a decision, so don't. So for those of y'all watching out there, because I know I had a lot of phone calls. Man, you're gonna gas gun it, guys. I haven't made it.
I would gas gun it. I got mine right here. I plan on taking this out a few times this year. This is my 6 arc. I've already shot one match with it already.
How'd you do?
It's a lot of fun. Doing something a little bit different. Yeah. I want to play around with everything this year. Got my 308 barrel. It's coming out of retirement. We'll try out some new Sierra bullets. It'll be a lot of fun. Ooh. Maybe some production, maybe some gas gun, rimfire, bolt gun, open, everything. And we'll do everything.
I like it. Yeah. Everybody that knows me, man, knows I'm just a semi-automatic fool. I've been like that ever since the military. That's pretty much where I got extensive training in the semi-auto platform. And it just stuck with me. So, yeah, some people will say, man, the semi-auto, the AR-15, AR-10 is not going to compete with the bolt guns. Yeah, okay. I'm not really trying to. Like, to your point, I just want to have fun. I want to have a good time. And, yeah, man, my 6 arc really shoots well. Am I very familiar with it? Let's say outside of 700 yards, I'm pretty much hoping that I'll hit. I know I'm going to be close because that 6 arc round is incredible. But anyways,
so it's like running a BR, a little slower. It's going to react the same way.
I think I was at 20 feet per second. So not as fast as my 6 GT, but it was very accurate.
I run my BRA about 2,800, and my 6 arc's running like 2740 right now. So the wind and the dope is so similar. It's hard to notice the difference. I took it out to 1100 pretty easily. I was surprised. I'm like, it's kind of cool, pulling a small frame AR and banging still 1100 with it.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. So anyway, enough about me. Leon Weatherby, give me the 2-minute intro of who Leon Weatherby is, where you came up, and what you're doing now.
All right. Yep. So I grew up in Liberal, Kansas. It's right there on the panhandle of Oklahoma. Small, windy, flat town, lots of cattle, nothing else. Grew up shooting prairie dogs and stuff. Moved to Kansas City, met my wife, decided I wanted to get into long-range precision rifle shooting because I wanted to just be able to stretch out around Kansas City, and there's no public ranges that allow you to stretch out. So if you sign up for a match, you can shoot 1,000 yards. So I signed up for my first match at GA Precision, which is just about 25, 30 minutes from where I live. Got hooked on it. Realized really quickly it was very expensive. And if I wanted to continue this hobby, I was going to have to supplement the income. And so I'm a designer by trade. And so I started designing my own products because I could save some money. Rather than buying them, I could 3D print them, make them. Guys seeing stuff on my rifle when I show up to match, I like that. Make me one. And next thing I know, I have a business. I didn't even try to. So fast forward to now, and I'm still working the day job, but in my free time, in my wife's free time, and my good friend Jeremiah's free time, we're all kind of running L3I and trying to make some new innovative products and kind of build up a company in our free time. And maybe one day I'll do it full time, maybe not. There's nothing to lose. No upfront investment. It all started with the $200 3D printer, and all the money we've made just kind of snowballed back into the business. And If it fails, we don't care because it's not paying any of our bills. So if you
Nice.
email us complaining, just know you don't really hold the power. You're not going to shut our company down because you're going to boycott us on one product. But
Not yet,
we take
anyway.
good care of our customers. You know, we try our hardest to put out the best product to make sure everybody goes home happy. But at the end of the day, this is just a big experiment for us, and we're having a lot of fun with it and trying to do something cool.
Nice. So tell us something that I think probably the viewers may not, most do in your area, but outside of your area, a lot of people don't know that you're a match director as well.
Yeah, I've actually only directed one match, but I'm a regional rimfire director, for the Midwest. But I plan on directing some more rimfire matches. We're actually there's talks about us acquiring some property to try and host our own matches eventually. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, so
you say,
go ahead.
You're a regional director?
Yeah, so for the Midwest region for rimfire, I kind of organize the region, get with all the match directors, create a schedule, settle any rule issues, any shooter issues, determine how we're going to go about the finale, where it's going to be located, choosing qualifiers. That way we balance it out to where everybody across the region has a qualifier match reasonably located near them, so they can all qualify with the points leading up into the national finale, which the national finale this year is actually going to be in my region at Gadsden Shooting Center with Doug Bose hosting that match. He does a fantastic job on rimfire matches, so I'll expect Oscar to be there alongside me.
We'll try. And this is with your regional director with PRS.
With PRS, yes, that's correct.
Yeah, because I know in your area, NRL's fairly big as well, and
we have
PRS.
Either the second largest or the largest NRL 22 club, just 40 minutes out of me in Ottawa.
Yeah.
So there's a big contingency of rimfire shooters in the area, for sure.
That's nice. Yeah.
Product development and plenty of matches to choose. I can go out and run my equipment and have a bunch of friends that are local that shoot a lot of rimfire that can run my stuff and give me feedback on it and go through the iterative process of improving it. And so I'm always welcome to feedback. I love, just somebody reaching out and saying, hey, I'm seeing this with the product. I'm seeing that. I think this would help or that would help. And like my bore guides, for example, I had a shooter reach out and he's like, I think if this was just like an inch longer, it would cover up the trigger housing and you wouldn't leak fluids in the trigger. I'm like, that's fantastic. I didn't even think about that. And so, I extended it out and I sent him a couple bore guides. I'm like, thanks for the idea. But, I'm always open to feedback on my products and how to make them better and iterative,
I think one thing about my job is it's blessed me with the ability to work all over the Midwest. And just for the viewers, a quick little story with me and Leon is we have a mutual friend in Ray Schoonmaker. Ray, if you're out there watching, sorry I mentioned your name, but I believe Ray was.
He's R-rated.
Yeah, I believe but we'll forgive him because I think he was Air Force. No, I'm just playing. I know he was Army, Air Force, same thing. I'm sure I'll get a phone call over that one. So, anyways, we have a mutual friend, Ray. And Ray invited me out to a couple of matches while I was working out there. And then just kind of me and Leon just kind of hit it off. We've been friends ever since. And I think your business, when we met, your business was just kind of, just barely starting. So it was in the infancy stages. And then fast forward to now Leon and I are both on the national shooting team for Apex Optics. So we've known each other from that, and hopefully we'll catch up to you, at a couple of your matches this year, and we'll hopefully make the finale and be able to go up there and visit. So I know my wife's looking forward to it. So anyways, that's a little backstory on me and Leon. And it was, I think, at the one of the ranges we went to together was out at George Gardner's range, right at the Gap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first one was
very
Gap.
very nice place.
I think the second match was the GA Precision match.
Yeah, and then the third one, I believe, we also went to the 2-day match.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that was, or maybe it was the same one. Anyways, so that's a little backstory on me and Leon, and so with L3I, tell us. So that's L3I now has been in business what, about 7 years or so?
Oh no, we incorporated in the end of 2001. So basically, we really didn't start till 2022. So we're going on just a little over 2 years, 2.5 years.
Wow, time flies. Yeah, I thought it was longer than that.
Yeah, it's it feels like it's been longer than that because it's an up and down roller coaster. But
yeah, and it's I actually ran into a couple of your products through another mutual friend from A&J. For those of y'all that don't know, and I forget the full name, please forgive me, but it's A&J Shooting, I believe, out in Oklahoma, Ponca City.
Yeah, A&J Shooting Sports, I believe. Yeah.
Shooting Sports, yeah. So he had a couple of products of yours, and I liked them, got them, and then that's when I kind of started ordering directly from you. But and you've come up with some really, over the past couple of years, you've come out with some really, really innovative stuff, especially for the rimfire community. So let me start with the first one, and then I'll let you kind of run with the other one. But I know my wife and I, and as well as some of the rimfire matches I've been to here in Texas, is people always want to know about your magazine. So tell us a little bit about that one.
Yeah, definitely. So my first magazine was the Universal 700 pattern magazine. This is our elite version. It's injection molded with Zytel plastic. So it's the same type of polymer that your Magpul mags will be made out of. Very stiff, very rigid, temperature stable. 10 degrees out, it's not going to crack on you. 100 degrees out, it's not going to get floppy and misfeed. It's got the billet base plate and it's got the billet adjustable latch. So what a lot of people don't realize is this adjustable latch goes up and down, but you can also adjust it in and out just by putting some material underneath the latch, like foil tape or some cardboard, piece of paper. I've done it in middle of match. I've just ripped a little piece off of an ammo box, stuck it underneath it, spaced it out, and made it fit real tight in the mag well. And so if you just put some underneath the bottom of it, it'll actually tilt it outward like this, which when you click it in the gun, let me move this over, it causes your feed angle to go up and point the round into the chamber. So you can actually adjust the angle of this back latch as well to tune in your feeding as well. So if you see your rounds are presenting low and it's shaving on the bottom of the bullet, just tilt this outward a little bit. That'll pop it up, and then it'll feed right into the chamber. And, in and out makes it fit tightly in the mag well, so when you hit up against the bag, it doesn't rock and change your feed angle as well. So it's a very adjustable magazine. With the right amount of effort, you can tune this to where it's 100% solid. In a bag, out of the bag, off a barricade, on top of the mag, not on top of the mag. You can get it to where it just latches in super tight, feeds right where it's supposed to go. But when you get it out of the box, if you just throw it in your rifle, it may not run. It probably won't run. You got to put a little effort into it and making sure that it fits correctly, it's feeding where it needs to feed, and then once you get there, you're good. One other possible issue is if it fits too tightly, it pushes up against this plastic and it causes some binding. And you can notice it won't come up enough and the bullet will come underneath your bolt and tilt upward. So if you get it too tight, you can cause that issue as well. But some of the things to kind of watch out for with this magazine. But once you kind of figure out how to adjust it, how to tune it to a rifle, works fantastic. But, if you can't figure it out, if you don't want to mess with it, we have a satisfaction guarantee. Let us know. We'll give you your money back. You send us the magazine. We'll give it to a new shooter. We'll use it as a spare mag. I'll give it to Oscar to loan out. So, I mean, there's nothing to lose on trying our products, because if you're not happy, we're going to make sure that you don't lose out on it. You know, this is our CZ magazine. Everything's backwards on this camera, so it's hard. This is our newest magazine. It's billet aluminum, 13-round CZ magazine. It's got a window at 10 and a window at 13. It's very slim, so you can fit it in an ACC chassis and still have room to get to your adjustable latch. No extension to warp, misalign, get hung up on the follower. It's going to feed for you, 100%, all 13 rounds, so you can get through that 12-round stage without a hiccup. We recently lowered the price on these. We didn't advertise that, but we've recouped kind of our development costs some, and we've gotten production costs down a little bit to where we can afford to bring the price down for the shooters and just
nice.
Kind of help out the shooters as much as we can. That's kind of where we got into rimfires, because when I first started shooting rimfire, it was kind of at the beginning of rimfire. NRL 22 was just getting established. And there wasn't much companies that were developing products for rimfire. It was pretty centered on centerfire products. And so I was one of the first guys to kind of jump in, like, we need some rimfire stuff. So I developed the first magazine extension for Bagara B14s. Otherwise, up until then, all you had was 10 rounds. If you had a 12-round stage, you had a mag change. I got tired of fielding technical support questions on installing the extensions, so I decided I'd design a magazine so I didn't have to tell people how to install the extensions. Way worse idea. But a couple years later, we got it dialed in, and it's working now. So I appreciate all the guys in the beginning who kind of bared the brunt of it with me. If you still have one of those originals, reach out to us. We'll make sure you get a good elite one in trade. But we want to take those off the streets because we don't want them going to the next guy to potentially have issues. But we can get those to run really well with our new springs and followers. I just seen Graybo posted a post the other day with one of the original Zero Sucks magazines in it. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's an OG one, even though it's like a year and a half, 2 years old. But we've come so far in such a short amount of time that it feels a long time, But getting to our latest product, I think this is probably what most people want to see.
That's what I'm waiting on.
This is our L31 Stinger. So as most guys know, it's kind of started from the 40X action.
Ooh, look at that Apex.
Oh, yep. Got the Apex rival on it, but you can see a little bit of our logo there, but it's a 90-degree bolt. Let me pull this up here. 90-degree bolt. Very short throw on it. 700 pattern. You can use your 700 triggers, your 700 stocks. We're going to have a 1.2-inch straight contour barrel, 24 inches long, 416 stainless. Everybody keeps asking the chamber. It's a big fat I don't know. That's still not decided yet. We're still fairly early in the prototyping phase. So this is a prototype version of the action. It's not going to be the full-on version. It's 90% the same, but we've made some significant changes to aid in reliability and how the magazine fits into the action, how it keeps it from being able to move inside the action. The geometry on the bolt where it doesn't cause any deformations to the live rounds as you come back across it. A little bit of changes with the ejector extractor for more reliability. Few other things. It's kind of all in our secret sauce, but this is a prototype 3D printed version of the new action body. It won't have the drop port here. We can kind of see that space right here. That'll all be kind of closed off on the newer version. It's going to have a little bit of a different ejection port, something just with a little more flair to it rather than the traditional Remington ejection port.
Now we're talking
say L3I, manufactured by L3I. So
yeah. And we're talking just a barreled action, correct?
Yeah, a barreled action with 2 of our elite magazines is the goal. Yeah. We may end up offering complete rifles at some point. We thought about triggers, but let's be honest, your competition guys, they're going to put whatever trigger they run in it. They don't want to have the
Yes.
same trigger that's in their center fire than their other rim fires. If you give them a trigger out of the box, I mean, they're going to put on Sniper's Hide PX and buy what they want, more than likely. Or we thought about maybe offering a couple options that you can upgrade the barreled action with. Jury's out on that, what we're going to do with that. But for sure, the action, the scope rail, the bolt knob, the barrel, you provide the trigger, you provide the chassis, and then you're ready to go. We're not going to thread the barrel. It's an added cost. Most guys don't need it. With your precision rimfire barrels, there's a train of thought that a lot of your bench rest guys believe that, turning down the end of that muzzle on a button cut barrel or where there's latent stress could potentially open up the bore at the end of the barrel. And that's the most important part for rimfire, because they're generally taper lapped and you're going to cut it in the area where that you have a nice constriction and you get the most accuracy. If you cut a really deep 1/2 by 28 thread, you relieve a lot of material there. That stress can cause that bore to open up slightly and cause some accuracy issues. So in order just to maximize the performance, we went without the threads. You can take it to your gunsmith, have it threaded for a tuner, and do all that good stuff. But I found, and we kind of gravitate towards PRS rimfire competition, NRL 22 competition.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need a tuner to shoot at the level to win those matches personally. Maybe if I go up, into the highest levels of competition at the national matches, it may be the difference between first or second. But for your local club guys, your guys getting into the sport, even me, who, I'm not a high-level rimfire competitor, it's not going to affect my scores whatsoever. Because I can get any rimfire to shoot half of the average size of the target. So I'm not going to be missing shots based on the accuracy of the rifle. With that said, though, we're going to strive to have the most accurate rifle possible. Our kind of target, this rifle is to kind of get you a step above your factory options, your CZs, your Bagaras, your Tikas. Kind of a step beyond that, more competition-oriented with a heavier, longer barrel, your 700 pattern, so you can use all the other competition accessories that your 700 uses. But also coming in a price point that's below your full-out customs, which is, your Modicam built Rem-X's and your Desert Precision, Voodoo, or, insert other custom gun builder and fantastic custom action. We kind of want to find that middle ground for the guys who want a little more serious competition rifle, but doesn't necessarily want to go all out. They may not have the budget to go all out. I know I don't have the budget to go all out usually. Get you that 99% of the performance for like 70% of the cost. And that's kind of where L3I has always really wanted to be, is providing the maximum value for guys to go out and have fun on the weekend, because we value fun over placement any day of the week. If we're not having a good time, we're not going to do it, because this sport's way too expensive not to have a good time.
Yes. And I won't hold you to nothing. Yeah, I won't hold you to nothing, but tentatively, can we expect this barreled action, the Stinger, to be ready sometime this year, later in the year?
So that's our goal. Is we're shooting for fall. It's a lofty goal. We still got to get all the paperwork in place to become a manufacturer. We have to get all the agreements in place with our manufacturing partners, because we're 3 people that work part-time. We don't actually do most of the manufacturing ourselves. I prototype everything on 3D printers and CNC mills that I can prototype. Other things I actually hire to have prototype, do the testing, go back to production. So we do a lot of the quality control. We do the shipping. We do the design work. We do the marketing. We do the overhead. So we wear a lot of hats, but manufacturing isn't one of them yet. As we get larger, we may open up a manufacturing shop, but we're kind of at the mercy of our partners. And so we forged quite a bit of relationships at SHOT Show with a lot of strategic partners in order to make this a reality. I like to give
Cool.
you a finite time, but it depends on a lot of people that have a lot of dependencies themselves, and so we'll
Yeah,
see,
no,
just see what happens.
I ask because I've got a few friends that are trying to decide right now. Man, do I get a Brugera? Do I get a CZ? Do I go full custom? You know, so my thing that I've been telling them is, hey, hold off a few months and wait for the Stinger to come out, and I think you're going to be 100% happy with it.
Yeah, if you keep shooting
So
your
of course,
season
yeah, that's
or something for a little while, and then save up, for the Stinger to come out here in 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 months or whatever it is. But if I can make it happen sooner, I totally will.
oh yeah.
We're building 15 guns right now, and we've found a lot of guys that are going to do some of the R&D testing for us and get an idea of how these things run. And before I make that final decision of, all right, this is how I want it made, I want to have all that information from a broad set of people, from a broad sampling of rifles to determine, okay, I feel like I have a solid design and we can actually go through with the large production run of it. So, this rifle, the first one built, I'm going to be running it all year, getting a feel for any of the issues I may need to potentially put into the next iteration of it. I'm really confident with it right now. It's running really well. But everything changes whenever you start making your own version because tolerances are different. You change some things. It's kind of a sum of the parts. So you think you could be making the same thing you already have, and you get drastically different results because things were just a little different. The tolerance stacked up a little differently. So it's going to be a journey for sure. And so we kind of teased it SHOT Show to say, hey, we're working on this, but it's not like, hey, we're teasing it at SHOT Show and in 3 months you can buy one. Now with our other products, it's usually been that way because they're much simpler products. Well, deceptively simpler. The magazines were pretty dang complex. I didn't realize it. But we've kind of got those where we needed to. We took the Sig Sauer approach where we just basically did beta testing on customers, and we're still fixing that. We still get occasionally the old ones come back like, guys, this ain't working. Like, well, I wish you'd have told me 2 years ago, but here you go. Let me get you fixed up. So
yeah. Well, no, I'm super excited for the Stinger. I know a lot of people were talking about it at the last match I was at. So yeah, we look forward to that. So let me kind of throw a little curveball here. So we know you have all the products. Now I want to know a little bit more about Leon. Tell us, because a lot of people don't realize that you were on Team USA last year.
Oh yeah, the World Championship 2022 in France. So when I first started competing, I started out with the Bergara HMR 6.5 Creedmoor, and I ran that my first season. And as any new shooter, you're like, I want to try out this chassis. I want to try out a Trigger Tech trigger. And so, I'm sitting there upgrading it, and I have to shoot in open because it's a different chassis, it's a different trigger. Well, I'm going up against these $5,000 rifles with my $900 box store rifle with the chassis and a trigger on it, which does very little for your performance. I mean, 99% of your performance is in that barreled action. And I did fairly decent my first year out. I think I was like 33rd in the region in the Midwest with the Bergara. And then the season ended, and I'm like, all right, I need to jump up to a better rifle. And so I built it. I didn't build. I had a GA Precision sell me a PPR, which is one of their production rifle builds. And, at the time, the best value, it's still at this time probably the best value. I prefer the Defiance action. I love my Defiance action, but those Curtis actions are still great. I mean, it's still going to perform at the same levels because they barrel 90% of it, but the actions are fine. I'd still recommend a PPR to this day. But I started competing with the PPR in the production series, in the pro series, my first year out, and I finished third in the U.S. Me and Ken Wheeler and Doug Koenig battled it out at the finale, and so I was top 3 in the production. And then when they opened up the team for Team USA, they wanted production shooters, TAC class shooters, and open shooters, ladies, seniors, military. And so I'm like, well, I'm top 3 in the PRS. So like for production, I should be able to get on that team, even though I'm way far down overall in the standings. So I'm like, it can't hurt. I'll throw out an application, and I threw it out, and they're like, hey, you got picked. Come shoot. I'm like, this is awesome. It's fantastic. But we had a very short notice, and a lot of guys weren't able to follow through with on such a short notice. So a lot of people dropped off the team. And so the entire production team dropped out, and it was just me left. They're like, well, we don't actually have enough people to fill that category, so we can't win in that division. Do you want to just move over and fill out the tactical class division so we have a full team on that side? I'm like, yeah, that's fine by me. I'll put together a 308 barrel. So I called up Tyler Perry at Perry Precision, who was my gunsmith, and I'm like, how fast can you have me a 308 for the World Championship? And he's like, done. And then his wife, from AP Cody, she's like, put a fantastic American flag Cerakote job on this. I mean, it's just so cool. Distressed.
Man, look at that.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Did a matching magazine, and then she did all the ace breaks for the entire team. And so it was really cool. Went out there in France. We kicked butt, had a lot of fun, met some of my best friends to this day from around the world. Got friends on almost every continent now. I mean, it was an amazing experience. Once in a lifetime opportunity, something I'll never forget. But I think this season I'm gonna pull the barrel back out and try and make a go again. See if I can't qualify for the TAC division again, the limited class division. It's gonna be fun. The first qualifier will be towards the end of the year, from what I understand. I don't know if that's inside information. If it is, sorry, Greg Bell. But yep, that's kind of my plans for this year. That's why I was going to break out the 308 again and play around with that. And I don't know where the 2026 Precision Rifle Championship will be, but it's got to be cool.
Yeah. Well, heck yeah, man. Good stuff. Thank you. I want to thank you so much. I know we kind of went over a little bit and what we talked about, but I think we got it all, man. Thank you so much for being on here. And that's kind of our goal here. I know some people had asked me, what's the goal with your videos? I like to put a name to a face. When people think of L3I, now they know who's behind it. And that's kind of been my whole thing with this. We got some very, very good match directors. We got Mr. Wayne Brown coming up here pretty soon with his new tripod that he's been working on. I think people are going to like it. But L3I products have been pretty much a staple, I know, in my house. My wife, as you know, has started her competition shooter journey this year with the rimfire. And, we went through a couple of magazines and this and that, and she was just kind of not feeling real good about it. And then I said, try this one. Just dang it, try it. And of course it was yours. It was your Elite magazine. And I think it was on a where she was getting frustrated was that it was a 12 round stage and we only had a 10 round magazine. And I said, try this one, which was yours. It's a 14 round. So she loaded it all up. She said, oh wow, it holds more than 10. I said, yes. That's when she just said, this is the magazine for me. I don't need get those other ones away from me. This is the one we need. So she's been, an L3I supporter ever since.
I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah. And it makes sense. It makes sense for a newer shooter because they got a ton of things that they're worried about, and a magazine shouldn't be one of them. So the more things you can kind of make run really well, the less they have to worry about. They can just concentrate on wind or trigger pulls or some other stuff that can make things the experience a little bit better. And that magazine really kicked in for her. That's when I saw her kind of like, oh, okay, I can do this.
And nothing's more
and
discouraging than a rifle that just won't run, and you're on the
yes,
clock. It's frustrating you, and we've all been
yeah,
there.
yeah. She had a jam, I know, on one stage, and she just wanted to just grab the rifle and just throw it across the fence. And I said, no,
I've had my
you know,
magazines thrown in burn pits before, like, ah!
yeah,
I'm not
you know,
gonna
but
name
jams
names,
are,
but you know who you are.
you know, jams are a part of the game. Like I tell her, it's going to happen. But ever since we've been running your magazine, no issue. She really, really loves it and enjoys it. So we look forward to keep using it. But again, just wanted to put a face to the name L3I, and we look forward to seeing you again this year, man. You know, it's been a while that we've actually been up there and caught up with you, but we definitely want to make some matches up there. And then of course, hopefully we'll make, you know, my 1022, my kid 1022 will be able to qualify for the finale. I'd like to. I really would. Some people, there goes the semi-auto part of me.
We're playing with the 1022 this year as well.
I love it, man.
Jeremiah's got one. He's got put together, and we're going to play.
Is there? Is there a semi-auto class or something along those lines in PRS? Oh, I didn't know that.
Semi-auto class.
Oh, okay.
So you can qualify for the finale in the semi-auto class. We're not seeing a lot of participation yet, but I've seen a lot of movement, a lot of posts on seeing a lot of 1022 builds getting put together. So I think this is going to be the year of the semi-auto. I know of quite a few shooters who got some competition 1022s coming together right now as we speak. I even seen a guy who did a competition AR-22, which would be pretty cool. I got the guys from Bayer Barrels at SHOT Show, and he does some nice precision AR-22 barrels. So if you're wanting to go the AR-22 route, look up Bayer Barrels. Really nice guy.
Okay.
Makes some fantastic barrels.
Yeah. I love my kid 1022. It's super accurate, a lot more accurate than I really thought. And especially with the advancement of competition ammo, that's been a huge plus. You know, we went from a few years ago where CCI was pretty much the best you're going to be able to get, and now you're you know, these 1022s are really liking the higher grade ammunition. So it's been really fun to kind of experiment.
So did you
I know my 1022 likes
to make it run with the subsonics.
I'm sorry, say again.
Did you run a lightweight bolt so you can run subsonic through it?
You know, honestly, I don't. I want to say it is because I am running subs in it, but I haven't. You know, now that you mentioned it, I hadn't even looked.
Yeah, I think Volt Quartzen makes a lightweight bolt where you can run subsonic ammunition and it cycles properly.
Mine just absolutely loved the Lapua super long range, the SK long range, and the SK high velocity. Those were the three.
Makes sense because the long range has a little more oomph in it than your regular subsonic match ammo.
Yeah. But with the high velocity, I mean, I'm shooting it at about 1130 feet per second. And it's just hammering. I mean, it's just a hole inside of a hole at 50 yards. So I can't say that, no, I don't want to shoot that one. I want to shoot Lapua or something. I'm just running with the SK long range or high velocity. I mean, and it's been really good so far, man. Top 10 in my last match with it. So
you can't argue with results. I mean, if it works, it works.
Yeah. But anyways, well, again, man, thank you. I didn't mean to keep you so long. But it's been a good conversation. It's always good catching up with you. So thanks again, man. We look forward to the good things. Keep us posted on the, and I'm sure we'll be getting with you about the Stinger when it's ready to go, so we can have another one of these and put it out, you know. And
yeah, definitely. I would love to give you an update on it. I'm gonna try and give as many updates on it as possible. Kind of head off the emails, so we're not replying to emails as often. But
perfect,
for sure,
perfect. Yeah, we'll be in touch. All righty, man. Thanks again. Say hi to Miss April for us, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yep. Take care.